students, welcome to lecture number 31, where we will be continuing with module number 4 under subject financial management. So under this particular module, that is investment decisions, we have seen capital budgeting, the complete theory, we have seen investment evaluation techniques, payback period, discounted payback period, accounting rate of return. We were in our last lecture, we were seeing what is net present value and profitability index. We are just remaining with IRR and MIRR, that is internal rate of return and modified internal rate of return. So today we will be continuing with the net present value and profitability index, which we had left it in our previous lecture. So as we already know, capital budgeting techniques is divided into two types. One is the traditional method and one is the modern method. So under traditional method, you have payback period and accounting rate of return, which we have already seen. In the modern method, we were dealing with net present value and profitability index. So just a quick revision of our previous lecture. What is net present value? So net present value will help you to find out what is the present value of cash inflows. Okay, and that is going to be compared with the present value of cash outflows, and then you will take a decision based on whether if the inflows are more than the outflows, then you're going to take a decision to accept the proposal. If the inflows are less than the outflows, you're going to reject the proposal. And if it is equal, okay, if the PV of cash inflows is equal to the PV of cash outflows, then you're going to be indifferent. That is, either you accept it or you reject it. So the formula for NPV, again I'm repeating, PV of cash inflows minus PV of cash outflows. Obviously, if your inflow is more than the outflow, then you're going to accept a particular proposal. So decision rule will be based when you're comparing the NPV with 0. So if the NPV is greater than 0, you're going to accept the proposal. If it is less than 0, you're going to reject, and equal to 0, you're going to be indifferent. Similarly, profitability index, we had already seen that this is nothing but cost benefit ratio. So here you're going to divide PV of cash inflows with PV of cash outflows. Here the decision rule is going to be based on your comparison with 1. So if your ratio, that is the profitability index, if it is greater than 1, accepted, less than 1, rejected, equal to 1, be indifferent, that is either you can accept it or reject it. So we were seeing problems on NPV and AI. So let us continue with the problems. This was just a quick revision. We had completed 3 problems in our earlier lecture. Now let us go to problem number 4. Is this particular Word document clear or visible to everyone? Yes, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, from the following, calculate NPV and recommend which project should be accepted. The below are the profits before depreciation and after taxes. So students, see, you have to, read the sentences very accurately and properly. Understanding of the sentence, you are going to do the solution. Your students, you have to calculate NPV and the profits are before depreciation. Okay, and after taxes. So tax is already minus in this. This is after tax and before depreciation. So let us see project A and project B. So for first 5 years, they have given you the project inflows, that is 5,000, 10,000, 10,000, 3,000, 2,000 respectively. For B also they have given you. Initial cost. When I say initial cost, this is nothing but your cash outflow. Okay, your expenditure, that is your cash outflow. So that is 20,000 and 30,000 for project A and B respectively. Now this is scrap value. Scrap value is 1,000 and 2,000. Now what is scrap value? The value which you are getting at the end of the estimated life of a particular project. So at the end of 5th year, okay, whatever project you have invested, that is giving you a sale value, scrap value of 1,000 rupees. So this, can anyone tell me this 1,000 and 2,000 rupees scrap value when you're receiving it becomes your inflow or outflow at the end of 5th year? So in the fifth year, this 1000 and 2000 scrap value, is it your inflow or outflow? Yes. Yes, students, scrap value, is it your inflow or outflow? Students, are you all there?
Inflow, ma'am.
Very good. So estimated life is 5 years. Discount rate they have given you 10%, because obviously we take PV of cash inflows and PV of cash outflows. To calculate this present value of all the future cash flows, we have to use a discount factor which is given as 10%. So this will help us in finding out the factors. So what is going, okay. So can anyone tell me what is the formula to calculate NPV? Quick, students. What is the formula to calculate NPV? How do we calculate NPV of a particular project? Yes. What is the formula to calculate NPV? How do you calculate net present value? We have just revised it some time back. Yes. It's PV of your cash inflow minus PV of your cash outflow. We have revised, right, students? See here, formula of NPV is PV of cash inflows minus PV of cash outflows. So first we need to calculate the cash inflows, but PV, present value of cash inflows. So first what we do is these two columns we write as it is. In the third column, we are going to write the discount factor. In the fourth column, we're going to multiply this with the PV factor. We will get the PV of cash inflows. So let us see the solution. Formula for NPV is nothing but PV of cash inflows minus PV of cash outflows. Okay, independently we have to solve for project A and project B. So we know that in order to calculate PV of cash inflows, we need to do a working note. Okay, now first this calculation of PV of cash inflows for project A. So as I told you already, pick this as it is from the question. So see here students, this as it is we are picking up from the problem. Okay, but this is the future value. After 1 year, after 2 years, we need to find out the present value of these cash inflows. And fifth year, there is a scrap value of 1000. So we have written here additionally one more 1000 rupees. Now we need to find out the present value of all this future figures. So we have to find out the present value at the rate of 10%, because discount rate is already given in the problem as 10%. Now, can any student tell me which table should I refer in order to get these factors?
Table number 3.
Table number 3. So, table number 3, 10% for first year, second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year. So as it is, I'm going to write these figures, that is 0.9091, 0.28264, 0.7513, 0.6830, 0.6209. Okay, I've rounded out to 3 digits after decimal. So I've written it as it is. You multiply the cash inflows with the PV factor, you will get PV of cash inflows. Once you take the total of all this, you will get the total PV of cash inflows as 24,227. So this you're going to write it in the main answer. Your main answer, in place of PV of cash inflows, you're going to write 24,227. Now PV of cash outflows. Now outflows is already given here, students. Initial cost is nothing but your outflow. Okay, which is already given 20,000. Since the year is not mentioned, obviously it will be the 0th year. So it is 20,000. And when it is 0 year, the PV is always going to be 1. So 20,000 into 1 is 20,000. So when you minus this 2, you are going to get the NPV for project A as 4,227. Your second, so you have finished the calculation of NPV for project A. On the same similar basis, you have to do the NPV for project B. So for project B, you write the year and these values as it is. Okay. And then find out the PV factor at the rate of 10%. See here, students, calculation of PV of cash inflows for project B. So year and cash inflows, you will write it as it is. You will write the PV factor at the rate of 10% as it is. Next, PV of cash inflows will be cash inflows is the PV factor. So PV of cash inflow will be, when you multiply this two, you will get it as 34,728. You put this in your main answer, that is 34,728 minus what is the cash outflow for project B. Can anyone tell me what is the cash outflow for project B? Yes, students. What is the cash outflow for project B? This is project B figures. Can anyone tell me what is the cash outflow for project B? Yes. Students, I'm talking to you all. Can you all tell me for project B, what will I take PV of cash outflow?
30,000.
Yes,
30,000.
we take it as 30,000.
30,000.
So 30,000 you got. So for project B, the NPV is 4,728. Now, can anyone tell me, suppose if you all had to take, if you all were the finance managers and you all had to take decision whether to opt for project A or whether to opt for project B, which project would you opt and why? Can anyone tell me? You have both the NPVs with you. Project A NPV is 4,227. Project B NPV is 4,728. So can anyone tell me which project would you opt and why?
Project
Yes,
B, ma'am.
why B? What's the
Because cash flow is more than the cash flow is uh, more than outflow, ma'am.
very good. So your answer is correct. You will opt for project B because the NPV is higher. So see here, when you see the NPV is 4,227, here the NPV is 4,728. So obviously wherever the NPV is higher, you will opt for that particular project. So your answer is correct. So see a decision rule. Since project B has a higher net present value than project A, therefore project B should be selected. So very good. Whoever has answered it correctly, all have answered. Next, is this problem clear to everyone? Can we move ahead? Yes, is this problem clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now let us move ahead to the sums on profitability index. Now students, profitability index, you know, is a cost benefit ratio, okay, where you have to divide. In NPV you were deducting inflow with outflow. Here you have to divide the PV of cash inflows with the PV of cash outflows. So here the initial cash outflow of a project is rupees 2 lakh and the expected inflows are, means here the PV of cash outflow is already given 2 lakh rupees. Now the inflows are 40,000, 30,000, 50,000, 20,000 in year 1 to 4. Assume 10% discount rate, calculate PI. This is such a same sum. Only here the working notes will be same as NPV, but only the formula is changing. So here we do not have PV of cash inflows because it is the future value after 1 year, 2 year, 3 years and 4 years. So here we need to calculate the PV of cash inflows. So for that we need, obviously require a working note. So in the solution you can see formula for PI is PV of cash inflows divided by outflows. Now this inflow figure we have to calculate. Okay, outflow figure is already given 2 lakh rupees, so here it is 2 lakh rupees. Now so we'll prepare a working note, that is calculation of PV of cash inflow. Okay, so what do we do is, from the problem itself we will pick up the first two columns. So here is 1 to 4, so 1 2 3 4. Cash inflows we will write as 40,000, 30,000, 50,000 and 20,000. Now, discount rate is already given as 10%. So PV at the rate of 10%. Remember why I am using the present value, because here we have to find out the present value of cash inflows with the outflows. So can anyone tell me which table are we going to use for this present value at the rate of 10%? Yes? Yes, students? Table? Table number?
3, ma'am.
3. So table number 3, again, we are going to pick up these values for the number of years that is mentioned in the problem. So I think 4 years is mentioned. So only we are going to pick the first 4 values. So we pick it and I've rounded out to 3 decimal. After the decimal, round it out to 3 digits. Okay, then we multiply the cash inflows with the PV at the rate of 10%. We get PV of cash inflows. Okay, then the total is, when you multiply the inflows with the PV factor, you get it as 1,12,350. This you have to write it in the numerator. So numerator divided by denominator, you get the PI as 0.561. Now can anyone tell me what is the decision rule in respect of profitability index? We have just revised it in the PPT now. So can anyone tell me what is the decision rule in case of profitability index? Yes? Now see, in NP we used to compare it with 0. Like if NP is greater than 0, accepted, less than 0, rejected, equal to 0, indifference. Similarly for PI, can anyone tell me what is the decision rule? With what value are you going to compare it? Compare it? Yes? Yes? How should I know whether I should accept this proposal, reject this proposal, or be indifferent? Yes, students?
If the PI is greater than 0, it can be accepted, ma'am. If then it is
No.
less than 0, reject the proposal.
Are you sure in case of profitability index, we use 0 for comparison or we use 1 for the comparison?
Sorry, ma'am, 1.
Are you sure it is 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So yes, rightly said. We compare the PI with 1 because obviously it is an index, it is a ratio. We are dividing it, so we are comparing it with 1. So here, is the PI greater than 1 or less than 1 or equal to 1? Can anyone tell me, is it greater than 1, less than 1, or equal to 1?
Less than 1, ma'am.
So should we accept this proposal or reject this proposal?
Reject, ma'am.
Very good. So since PI is less than 1, therefore the project should be rejected. So students, again, why I'm repeating the same thing again and again, for the simple fact because many students make a mistake in they get confused between the decision rule of NP and decision rule of PI. They compare it with 0, both, or either they compare it with 1, which is very wrong. Net present value should be compared with 0 and take a decision, whereas your profitability index should be compared with 1. If it is greater than 1, less than 1, unequal to 1, then accordingly take the decision. Therefore, again, I'm repeating, NPV compare with 0 and profitability index, your decision rule will be based on comparison with 1. Okay, is this problem clear to everyone? Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
students? Okay, let us move ahead. Star Limited has a proposal involve a cash outflow of 5 lakh rupees and working capital of 80,000 rupees. Okay. Students, can anyone tell me what is working capital, meaning of working capital? Yes? What is the meaning of working capital? If you all know, tell me the answer. If you don't know, I will tell you all. Yes? Does anyone know what is the meaning of working capital?
Debt.
Yes?
Equity
What is the meaning of working capital? Yes, students? Yes, students?
Current asset minus current liabilities.
Okay. Now, did I ask for the formula or did I ask for the meaning? What did I
Meaning,
ask?
ma'am.
Meaning. So tell me what is the meaning. Tomorrow you will go to an interview and they ask you what is the meaning of current working capital. So then you have to give the meaning, not the formula. So what is the meaning of working capital? You'll have done it right in your first semester. Okay, based on the formula, can you derive the meaning? Yes? Okay, let me answer. See,
Changes
students.
in
Anyone wants to answer?
changes in cash inflow and cash outflow.
No.
Ma'am, the amount of cash a business can safely spend.
The amount of?
The amount of cash a business can safely spend.
Students, why are you using cash inflow, cash outflow? Current assets. Okay, just tell
Ma'am,
me. Yeah, tell me.
it is a day to day expenditure.
Very good. So here, working capital is the capital required for the day-to-day working of the organization. See, students, when the organization, every day the organization has certain expenses, right? Some or the other amount is required, right? So the capital, the money, what is required for the working to, for an organization to work, it is not like yearly expenses will be there. There will be daily some petty expenses. There will be every day some, like, to make purchases of goods, you require expense. It, from where will you get the money? So that money which is required for the day-to-day running of the organization, working of the organization, which is called working capital. Okay, so working capital. Now, based on my explanation, can you all tell me working capital will be a part of inflow or outflow? Whatever explanation I have given,
Outflow, ma'am.
it is an hmm? It's
Outflow,
a
ma'am.
very good. So this working capital is an outflow because it is a capital which is required, which you need to spend for the day-to-day work, for the organization to run. Okay, whatever working every day, there will be some day-to-day activities. For that, whatever money is required, it is called working capital. Therefore, it is called working capital because day-to-day working of the organization, whatever capital is required, it is called working capital and it is your cash outflow. It is an outflow. Okay, so can you all tell me what is the total outflow then? First, the proposal has an initial cash outflow of 5 lakhs and working capital is 80,000. So what is the total cash outflow?
5 lakh
Yes,
80,000.
very good. 5 lakh 80,000. Next, the life of the proposal is 6 years. Okay, the cost of capital is 12%. Okay, and scrap value is 0. When I tell you salvage value, it means the scrap value. Depreciation is on straight line method basis. That means every year the amount of depreciation is going to be same and tax rate is 30%. Here is cash flow before depreciation and before tax. Students, here the cash flows are before depreciation and before tax, means we have to give effect to depreciation, we have to give effect to tax. Okay, so for year 1 to 6, the cash flows is given as 2 lakh 10, 1 lakh 80, 1 lakh 60, 1 lakh 50, 1 lakh 20, and 1 lakh respectively. They are telling us calculate PI and they are telling us calculate NPV. PI calculation I have shown, NPV calculation you have to tell me. Okay. Now let us solve. How do we calculate PI? The formula is very simple. PV of cash inflow divided by PV of cash outflow. Now, we already know what is PV of cash outflow because it is given in the problem. So it is 5,80,000. So we have taken PV of cash outflow as 5,80,000. Now, students, we have to do a working note on PV of cash inflows. Okay, based on whatever information is given here. So let us see the working note. Working note calculation of PV of cash inflows. Okay, First of all, you need to answer two questions, two answers. You'll have to give me. Students, is depreciation a cash expenditure or a non-cash expenditure? Yes.
Non-cash expenditure.
Okay, remember this thing when we are solving the problem. Second question is, tax is calculated on your income, okay, on your profit. Is this tax calculated on a profit after giving effect to depreciation or before giving effect to depreciation? Means when you calculate tax in the income, depreciation should be minused or not minused? Yes. See, depreciation is a tax deductible expense. When I say, when the government charges tax, it is telling that you deduct the depreciation, and on the balance income, on your balance inflow, I will charge tax. So when you calculate the tax rate, government is giving you the benefit to minus the depreciation from your inflow and calculate tax. Is this clear? So now for tax purpose, we have to minus depreciation. But later again, we have to add back depreciation because we want PV of cash inflow. And depreciation is a non-cash item. Therefore, we have to add it back again. Is this thing what I have explained? Is it clear? Yes. For tax purpose, depreciation has to be minused, but for PV of cash inflows, depreciation has to be added back because depreciation is a non-cash item. So is this clear to everyone? Yes. So based on my explanation, I will just tell you column number 1 and 2, you will, column number 1 and 2, you will write as it is. Okay. Now, the third thing is you're going to charge depreciation. Now, this is cash flow before depreciation and tax. Now, why are you going to minus depreciation, students? Because obviously you have to deduct tax, and tax is deducted after minusing depreciation. So, depreciation, how did we calculate the amount of depreciation? See here, students. Since depreciation is on SLM basis, depreciation will be cost minus scrap value divided by number of years. The cost of the project is given as 5 lakh minus the scrap value is 0 because no scrap value is given, the salvage value is 0. Number of years is 6 years. So depreciation comes around to 83,333. Now this depreciation amount is same for all the years. Why? Because it is on straight line method basis. Therefore, in the third column, we have written depreciation in all the years. Okay. A fourth thing will be to find out cash flow after depreciation. Now, what is the purpose of calculating the fourth column? Because we want to calculate tax. And remember, students, tax is always calculated after minusing depreciation. Because here, whatever inflows we are having, this 210, 180, directly we cannot calculate tax on this because this is cash flow before depreciation. We have to minus depreciation first. So we have to minus 210 with 83,333, and we have to do it for all the years. Okay. Then we get cash flow after depreciation. Okay. And on this cash flow after depreciation, after minusing depreciation, on this fourth column, tax is to be calculated. Now tax is calculated at the rate of 30%. So 30% into column number 4. So that is 1,26,667 into 30%. So you get the tax as 38,000. Students, I'm just showing you for year 1. Similarly, it will work for the same pattern for year 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you get the tax as 38,000. Okay. So what is the cash flow after depreciation and tax? Now here you have given effect to depreciation tax. So it will be your cash flow after depreciation minus the tax. You will get cash flow after depreciation and tax, that is 88,667. Now, students, remember, in this 88,667, depreciation is included, but we just want cash inflows. Depreciation, since it is a non-cash item, we have to add back depreciation. So 88,667 plus 83,333. Since depreciation is a non-cash item, you add column number 3 and column number 6. You will get the cash flow as 1,72,000. Okay, so this is your cash inflows. Next, they have given you the PV factor at the rate of 12%. You will see table number 3. Okay, here you will see table number 3 at 12%. You will take this figures, that is 0.8929, 0.7972, and so on. You take that figures, multiply column number 7 with column number 8, you will get PV of cash inflows. Take the PV of cash inflows and write it in your numerator. Okay, divide it, you will get the PI as 1.0425. So what should be the should we accept the proposal or reject the proposal? Yes, students? Yes? Should we accept, since the PI is coming to 1.0425, should we accept it or reject it? Yes, students?
Accept it
Why accept?
because the value is greater than 1.
Okay, now, so this is clear. Now, students, did everyone understand this calculation? Yes? Did everyone understand this calculation? Yes, students? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, since you all have told yes, just to confirm whether you have understood, I'm going to question you all. Okay, now this first two columns you have taken from the question as it is, no doubt in that. Why did we calculate depreciation here? Just answer, why did we calculate this depreciation here? Yes?
Because it is a non-cash item, ma'am.
No, this is not the right answer.
To reduce the tax liability.
Okay, very good. So this is cash flow before depreciation and tax. So obviously tax has to be deducted, and tax income, the government is telling you, you can first you have to deduct depreciation to deduct the tax. So first you calculated depreciation, you minused this both, you got this value. On this value you have to calculate tax and not on this value. So that is the reason, which is correctly told by you. Next, we deducted tax, we got cash flow after depreciation and tax. Now can anyone tell me why in column number 7 we added back the depreciation? Why did, this is cash flow after depreciation and tax, why did we add back this depreciation back for the cash flows? To find out the cash flows, why did we add back depreciation? We added this with the cash flow after depreciation and tax. Can anyone give me the answer? Yes? Yes,
Because
students?
depreciation is non-cash item.
Correct. And we want to know only the cash flows. So now hope everyone has understood the working of this entire columns. Yes? Yes, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, based on this, can anyone tell me what will be the NPV? If you have calculators in your hand, use the NPV formula and tell me what is going to be the NPV. And how you all are going to do it. So can you all calculate NPV and tell me? Yes? Okay. What is the formula to calculate NPV? Yes, students?
PV of a cash flow minus the PV of cash outflow.
Okay. So do you have a PV of cash inflows already calculated with you all? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have PV of cash outflows already there with you all? Yes. Yes. So can you all tell me what is NPV? Simple, students, instead of dividing this two, you just take 6,04,695 minus 5,50,000, 5,80,000. This is going to be your NPV. So what is your NPV? Yes, students.
24,695, ma'am.
So this is your NPV. So accept the proposal. Why we are accepting? Because it is greater than 0. Is it clear, students? So when in exam they ask you calculate PI and NPV, you need not separately start calculating for NPV also. Already PI, NPV, the terms are same. Only the formula is different. For NPV also you require PV of cash inflows and PV of cash outflows. The same thing you require for PI. So even if you calculate for either of one, okay, you need not do the working note. Just simple write B solution answer B. NPV is PV of cash inflows minus PV of cash outflows. Therefore, 6,04,695 minus 5,80,000, you get 24,695 as your NPV. Since it is greater than 0, you're going to accept the proposal. Now, is this problem clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So we have finished the problems on NPV and PI. The majorly very important thing you need to know is tax calculation should be after depreciation, and depreciation should be added back because it is a non-cash item. This one thing you have to remember. Second thing you need to know is you have to calculate the PV of cash inflows with the PV and PV of cash outflows based on the discount factor and using the FM tables, table number 3. So these are the two important things which you need to keep in mind while solving the problems on NPV and PI. Thank you so much, students. We are done for the session for today. Thank you.